Have a pleasure day to everyone. My name is Darwin Bunbonos Nayan from the College of Fisheries and Aquatic Sciences, taking Bachelor of Science in Fisheries. Today, I'm going to present my thesis entitled Perceived Impacts of Climate Change on the Food Security of the Coastal Communities of Barangay San Rafael, Puerto Princesa City, Philippines. Global warming is a gradual increase in the Earth's temperature due to greenhouse gas emissions that leads to climate change impacts various sectors. It is very complicated because it covers various aspects of the human life. In the marine sector, climate change promotes rising ocean temperature and sea levels, increasing the frequency and intensity of extreme weather, thus affecting the livelihoods of the coastal communities. So the general objectives of this study is to determine the climate change impact on the food security of the coastal population or the coastal communities. And the specific objectives is to determine the demographic profile of the respondents, climate change awareness and experience climate change impacts, perceived impacts of climate change on the four pillars of food security, which is the availability, accessibility, utilization, and stability. And the last one is the regression, or the relationship of the experienced climate change impact with the perceived impact of climate change on the food security. This study was conducted in Barangay San Rafael, Puerto Princesa City, and we used descriptive statistics to present and interpret the data in sociodemographics, climate change awareness, and experience climate change impacts, and perceived impacts of climate change on food security. Also, the regression analysis to know the relationship of the climate change experiences with their perceived impacts on the food security. Now we're going to present to the results and discussions. The first one is the socio-demographic profile, which is the first objectives. Majority of the respondents are male, 52.5%. This is notably in line with the population survey in Palawan, where males are notably higher in number. Regarding their educational attainment, 47.5% are high school graduates. The proportion of fishermen in San Rafael, Puerto Princesa City who graduated high school is higher than the areas of the Philippines. Take one of the example, the population of fishermen in the northern part of Surigao del Sur, where 67.8% are elementary graduates according to Mercado 2016. In terms of their household income, most are considered as poor with an income below 12,000 per month, which is 85%. And looking into their age, 32.5% are aged to 39 years old, and based on their livelihood, 65% of the respondents are fisher folks. For the objectives number 2, which is the climate change awareness, most of the respondents, 87.5%, are aware that climate is changing. This is higher than the result of the study conducted in the province of Palawan, where 82% of the respondents believe that climate is changing. 62.5% that climate change threatens the human health and safety. The United States Environmental Protection Agency also believe that coastal areas are the most vulnerable areas to the changing climate and that threatens the human health and safety according to EPA 2017. 50% of the respondents or half of the respondents agreed that it is also a anthropogenic or caused by the human activities. This is also in line with many studies, also the studies of Trenberth et al. 2018, that firmly posit the humans are now the leading cause of climate change, and this has caused global warming, heavy rainfalls, storms, and environmental degradation. And almost half, or 45% of the respondents agreed that it's a natural phenomenon. A US study shows that almost 30 to 40% of the people, a notable comparable number to the result of this study, firmly believe that natural phenomena cause the changing climate. For the following of the objectives number 2, experience in climate change impact, the result shows that the participants perceive there is an increase in frequency of rainfall, increase in sea surface temperature, more rough seas, and there is a rise in sea level compared to 10 years ago. A broader study in Palawan also supports these findings. where the study found that excessive rainfall and sea level rise are experienced in the region. Notably, a national level study conducted by Pinalba et al. 2021 also indicated that coastal communities experience storm surge or big waves because of the changing climate. For the objectives number 3, or the climate change impact, overall, the respondents perceived decreasing food security compared to 10 years ago. The results show the decreasing in food stability, accessibility, availability, and food utilization. According to Comar et al., 2018 verified this through their study saying that in climatic conditions have already affected the food production and future climate change threatens to exacerbate this. Higher temperature will have an impact on yields, while changes in rainfall could affect both quality and quantity. Climate change could increase the price of major productions. This is also supported by international research studies like the Brown and Fong 2008 that found that food insecurity is likely to increase under climate change. And the last one, the objectives number 4, or the linear regression. The sea level rise is a significant predictor of decreasing in food availability and food stability. For the conclusion of socio-demographic profile, most of the respondents are male, majority are high school graduates with a total income below 12,000 per month. Most of the respondents have an age ranging 30 to 13 years old and they are all fisher folks. For the conclusion of climate change awareness, the majority of the respondents believe that climate change is happening based on the environmental changes that they experience. And for the conclusion of impacts of climate change, overall decreasing on food security compared to 10 years ago in food availability and stability because of sea level rise. For the recommendation, conduct further research to assess the resilience of coastal communities to the impacts of climate change, particularly in relation to the food security. Education and awareness raising activities are recommended to empower coastal communities to act on climate change and ensure the food security. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening and more power.